Can't go through here. Can't go through here.
Boris, how'd you get here? The hell happened to you?
Lieutenant, can't you tell your own work? You wanted to arrest me at any cost. Well, here's the cost. To me. What did you think they did to deserters and rebels, huh? Send them on vacation? Welcome to my hell. They like to get rough. I bleed, they smile. I'm just about done bleeding, though. You should have just killed me. Same result, just cleaner.
There. Not quite perfect yet, but you'll survive to flee. Again.
That was kind of you. Better already. What can I do for you now?
I'm looking for an old man. Old Techomancer from Aurora who should be here. Probably passes himself off as someone else now, though.
A Techomancer? Here? Sure, I would have heard about him if you were... Though, come to think of it, there is this old fella. Got scars all over his face, like all your kind seem to have. Works as a mechanic. Not sure if he's your man, but... if he ain't, that's all I got.
Thanks, Boris. You better get going now.
Isha, are you all right?
I'm sorry. Are you Charles Seeker?
Why? Who are you? What's a Techomancer want with...
Professor, I'm a friend of Scott Seeker. He was worried about you.
Scott? Yes, well, at least they didn't get him too. All they want is to destroy progress, you know. But they must not. You must take my notes, bring them to Scott. He'll know what to do with them. Don't let them fall into the wrong hands, young man.
I can help you, Professor. Just let me...
No. It's too late. My time has come. But my research... Don't forget.
Hello, I'm looking for someone. A rather old man.
What is the man doing in the camp?
He was locked up here because he was living away from corporations. He's a technomancer like me, but way older. And he comes from Aurora.
He is not sure, but he believes he recognized that the old man had the Aurora way of speaking. But he thinks that the man is mistaken because he is not a technomancer. He doesn't make lightning bolts. He is a mechanic, not a good mechanic.
Thank you very much for the information. I'm looking for an old man. He's from Aurora, and he used to be a technomancer.
Well, you're looking for him in the wrong place. It's true that there's a guy with a funny way of speaking, but I can't believe that he's from Aurora. That sounds crazy. What would he be doing here?
Who is that man?
His name's George. An old guy, as you said, and the way he speaks sounds funny. Anyway, as if he were making fun of us with complicated words. He's a mechanic, though.
This could mean that he studied within the elite in a corporation that were a little precious. Thank you. Hello, I'm looking for a man. A man in your age range. A technomancer.
A Techomancer? Here? You must be mistaken, my boy. There is no Techomancer here. The prisoners of war are sent elsewhere. Here we are taught to think like good citizens of abundance.
Hello, I'm looking for someone.
A man? He doesn't mingle with men. Men avenge themselves upon them, so he stays away.
All right, I understand. Goodbye. Hello, I'm looking for someone.
What is the man?
He was locked up here. Thank you very much for the... Hello, I'm looking...
A man?
All right, I understand. I'm looking for an old man. He's from a...
Well, you're looking for him in the wrong...
Who is that man?
His name's George.
This could mean that he... Hello, I'm looking...
A Techomancer.
Hello. I'm looking for a prisoner. An old man from Aurora. He's a former Techomancer.
There are no Techomancers here. He would be killed right away or sent to a camp as a prisoner of war. You're in the wrong camp. This here is a rehabilitation camp for deviants, dissenters. It's supposed to get us to think right again. Sorry, I don't see.
Maybe he hid what he was. He used to live far from the corporation. Maybe they mistook him for a deviant, an outcast. But he must have kept some of his mannerisms or accent from Aurora.
That could be George. I've always thought that he had a funny way of talking. He works as a mechanic. He really looks burned out. But the funny thing is, I once heard him say he was barely 50. You think he was at least 20 years older. He must have had a really bad life, worse than ours.
That could be him. Technomancy tends to age us faster. Thank you.
That's fucking amazing. And hilarious. Guy manages to hide who he really is, a fucking Technomancer from Aurora, right under the noses of the worst assholes in Abundance's history. I don't like Aurora, but damn. If they're all that fucking wily, I can fucking get how they beat us.
How old are you? 70?
50 years old, but I had a hard life. Unfortunately, that leaves its mark.
Like Technomancy takes its toll as well.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know anything about Technomancy. You should talk to someone else.
I've heard that mechanics isn't your forte. It's a good hideout, isn't it?
The person who told you that I'm not good is simply bad-mouthing me.
If you say so. But this doesn't explain the way you speak. Polished for a mechanic. Listen, let's cut to the chase. Just let me look at your temples and that'll be it.
You are the pain in the neck, you know that. Very well, I am the one you are looking for, and your relentless questioning puts me in jeopardy if the word gets out here.
I specifically came to this camp in order to find you. You brought back a dome lost in the sands, a tablet that I'm unable to translate.
It is written in the settlers' coded language, one they use for the important data. By all means, I can translate it, but this type of thing can take time, and I can't do it here.
Come with us to Noctis. I am sure that you'll find a place to stay.
Noctis.
The city of the merchants. It's an independent city. There you won't have to fear Aurora or Abundance.
Well then, I'll follow you.
Let's go. I'm glad to leave this place.
Me too. I don't care where you take me. Anywhere is better than prison.
It stank like fucking death in there. I don't know what to say. I feel ashamed. I'm from Abundance. What they do to people in there... inhuman.
The techniques that they use in that camp are based off of real scientific research. Everything was designed.
I guess this is one of those days where you don't appreciate the gifts science and medicine brought us.
You cannot blame the research itself, Zach. The blame falls on those who use it poorly. Anything can come from the best intentions. Most don't realize until it's too late. That's where experience stems from.
To think that even Ophir looks like a paradise after seeing such a place. I am grateful, however, for we managed to save a few souls.
You okay, Nisha?
No, not really. I don't want to talk about it right now.
I get that the place could have triggered some bad memories. I'm sorry, Nisha.
Solo, this is Patience, the Technomancer you told me about.
Ah, nice. Free of that shadow-forsaken labor camp. Must have been a living hell. A sincere pleasure to meet you.
Yes, nice to be free, but to be honest, I'm now stuck with no place to go. Can't and won't go back to Aurora. And Abundance was always so accommodating that I can't imagine the hospitality if they had known about my talents. Damn the ASC. And ever since my little desert refuge has been discovered, it's become a tad less cozy. Here I am, no roof, no real belongings. Only thing I have is this guy here who won't leave me alone until I translate some ancient text for him.
Well, I can't help with Mr. Mancer's needs for a translator, but I can give you a roof. It's the Noctis way, for we say, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Welcome to your new home, patients. There are some empty houses in the northern part of the city. I'm sure we can set you up there.
Thank you, and a sincere pleasure to meet you, Dandolo.
Scott, I don't even know how to... I met your friend Charles. I found him in a re-education camp, but I'm so sorry. He died in my arms.
Charles dead? How awful. What a terrible loss. He was very gifted, you know. I knew that he had disappeared for a reason. Locked up. I am so sorry about Abundance. Ending up killing all those scientists. At this rate, we're going to go back to the Stone Age.
Charles gave me documents. He asked me to give them to you.
Oh. His latest research, I'll bet. I'll look at it. It must be captivating. Thank you, Zachariah.
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia.
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia.
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia.
Zachariah, your help would be indispensable once more.
I'm listening.
We need weapons because we will have to defend ourselves. My extraction operations have come to a full stop ever since the ASC arrested my mother. I got in touch with a man who can sell us military surplus, but he will not do business with a mutant. That is why I need your help. I would like you to come with me dressed as a merchant from Noctis and pretend you are one. I hope that you can buy his equipment from him without us knowing the purchase's real purpose. What do you think?
That doesn't sound too complicated. I guess I can do it.
Thank you. We will never forget what you did for us, Zach. Come join me when you find a merchant outfit, and we will go to the meeting point together. It is below a shadow path. I will show it to Amelia.
exotic good. The most exotic.
set up the exchange with that Aurora quartermaster if he was a complete stranger?
Some mutants aspire for freedom everywhere, Aurora included. When I learned that the quartermaster was looking to dispose of stocks of merchandise, I sent messengers.
Messengers? Mutant messengers? And he still took the messages seriously?
No, I paid humans, noble-looking ones too. Plus, we have a few sympathizers over there, some of which are merchants who are always more than helpful, for a price.
I thought you didn't want Dan Dolo in the loop.
Indeed, I had to pay them. A lot. If there's any corporation you want to be heard talking about, just talk about Alliance. Avoid the others. Don't want to start anything.
Hey, Zach. Count on me if you need some help during the transaction. I've got real-life experience, after all.
Phobos, if Dandolo finds out you're plotting behind his back...
He's my ally, Nisha, not my mother. Which means I don't have to tell him what I'm doing at every hour. I think that our negotiator is already there. He must be waiting for us below the Shadow Path.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see you dressed in all merchant goods while doing some form of improvised acting. It's gonna be terrible. All aspects terrible. 0 out of 10 terrible. Why didn't you ask a real merchant, Phobos?
You know what merchants are like. They will likely get upset when they realize I'm outsourcing equipment from another source. They revel in their monopoly. They can set whatever prices they want.
Well, ain't that the definition of merchant friendship, eh? Do they really help?
Customers produce loyal.
Hi, I'm Zachariah. Are you Sincerity?
Yes. Your message mentioned that you're a merchant and that you may be interested in some merchandise. I have some overstock that I'm willing to sell, but I want to be sure that this merchandise won't end up in enemy hands. Please understand that the safety of our corporation depends on it, and that I don't want any of my superiors to learn about this type of transaction.
I hear where you're coming from. Don't worry though, the stocks won't be resold together. I'll spread them out here and there so no one will be able to track the sales back to you. And obviously, if the stock's disseminated, your enemies will have a harder time mounting a strong enough offense to harm you.
Do you have a wide enough network to disseminate the merchandise afterwards? It's true that that's a pretty good solution. Very well then. I think that we can do business. Someday, I will kill that madman.
Who is this mutant? Why did he kill the merchant?
Cain. He refused any type of relationship with humans, and I guess that is his way of showing me that he disagrees with my trying to do business with them. But he failed the negotiation I had been working on for months without even realizing that we need these weapons. Anyway, I guess I need to find another way to stock up.
Hell! He fucked it all up! Did you guys fucking talk to each other?
Because we share a similar exterior does not mean we share the same goals, Amelia, or the same thoughts on the best methods to obtain them.
I'm so sorry, Phobos.
Don't be. Had I known that Kane would intervene, I would have never arranged our meeting there.
Kane, what a guy. Looks like he wouldn't hurt a fly. Instead, he'd kill hundreds.
He hates humans, hates their guts, and he won't stop until he dies. And unfortunately, he has a lot of followers. Such a waste! All that time spent for that exchange to turn into nothing. If I find out who told Kane about the meeting, I'd show him what makes me different from scum.
Take it easy, big guy. With all these intercorporation wars, finding weapons won't be too difficult. I could ask around for you.
What? Thank you, Andrew.
We were lucky Kane didn't attack you too, Phobos. He obviously doesn't like you. You're his natural competition for Chief.
I say bring him on. That brute doesn't scare me.
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia. What do you think of Scott? You know him well.
Know him well? That's an exaggeration. He doesn't actually say much about himself. Most of the time, he's on his own planet. Before he gets back down to Mars, well, we lose radio communication. He's nice. He regularly checks in to see how I am. He used to bring me gifts when I was young, but he can't help commenting on the chances I take and all. It pisses me off. I like him, but he's not my father, I mean.
You must have traveled a lot.
You know, when I'm being sent out... Wow, it doesn't sound...
Good morning, Zachariah. Good morning, Zachariah. Our brothers are still at their stakeout.
Zachariah!
I'm looking for my friend Scott. He just disappeared. Any idea where he could have gone?
Can't say that I have. He's not at the caravansary, though. If you want, I can check with my informants. Might have joined the caravan that just left, though. Your pal looked like he was missing Ophir, honestly. Then again, maybe he was kidnapped. Never can tell.
Just let me know if you hear anything. I need to find him. Thanks for the help.
My pleasure, as always.
Hey, you! Yes, you! Do you have a moment? Welcome, welcome!
Hey.
Hey, back.
Hello, Phobos.
Hello, Zachariah. What can I...
What do you think of Scott?
He's a great scientist.
Is that it?
Something bothers me about him, Zachariah. No doubt he appreciates you a lot. I learned that he went through a hard time, but I have a feeling that his sweet eccentricity is hiding something. But I don't know what, therefore I won't say anything else.
Hey, you! Yes, yes, you! Do you have a moment?
Zachariah, what can I do?
I'm looking for my friend Scott.
Can't say that I have. He might have joined the caravan.
Just let me know if you hear anything.
My pleasure, as always. Zachariah.
Hey, you! Yes, yes, you! Do you have a moment?
Hey, Brad.
Zachariah, how's the hunting?
Can you tell me what's going on?
Yes, of course, of course. You see, the focus of my study is the planet's fauna. All the insects and animals brought by the settlers that have since mutated, much like our own mutants, if not in a more spectacular way. Now, I've studied the most well-known of the creatures, of course, but I have heard of much more rare specimens, which I would go to any lengths to study. It would offer great insight into the animal mutations. Anyone can admire their beauty, but what we need is to understand how they came to be what they are. We need to study their anatomy, but they are, of course, rather dangerous.
So you need a hunter to find them and bring back your specimens. I might be able to help. What are you after?
Well, there is so much. There's a black mole and a shield toad. Also a locust I've named Locusta tempestatus, or more colorfully, the storm locust. It's been spotted in the tunnels beneath Ophir.
Hey, Brad.
Zachariah, how's the hunting?
I've got your last specimen.
At last! Glands of the infamous Locusta tempestatus. Fantastic. My thanks are endless. Tell me, how was its behavior?
You're welcome. Its behavior, well, it looked like it was absorbing electrical power that made it stronger.
You don't say. Fascinating. Might you be willing to make some more collections while I study these? If so, the black mole would be quite a catch. It's been known to dwell in the canyons surrounding Noctis.
I'll see what I can do.
Hey, Mr. Mancer, please?
Hey, Brad.
Zachariah, how's the hunting?
I've got your last specimen.
Oh my. A sample of the black mole. I can't even... If you only knew the contributions you're making, the discoveries from the storm locust glands alone. Groundbreaking. And I'll be sure to cite your contribution in all my papers. You've earned it.
A dream come true. Really? You have another sample you're looking for?
Indeed. The shield toad supposedly resides around the Mutant Valley. If you could, I would love to study its skin. Little is known about it. Mutants don't really disclose much about their city, but for a hunter like you, I'm sure capturing such a specimen shouldn't be a hassle.
I'll do my best.
Hey, Mr. Mancer, please?
Hey, mister! You got a minute? I need to ask you something. Hey, mister! You got a minute? I need to ask you something.
Hey, Mr. Mancer, please?
Looks like Patience is gone. Judging by the mess, I doubt he left willingly. Bet you all the serum in the world the fucking ASC's behind all this. They need to be stopped before they overrun Noctis. And I need to find Patience. Fuck, and the tablet.
After trailing the groups you mentioned, it's obvious that they each have a few people among them who aren't just looking for you, but purposely seeding unrest in the population, and maybe pushing for an uprising.
Then we need to stop it.
Here's a description of everyone we found. Give me your map. There. I've marked every place you can find them. Shouldn't be hard for you to get them now.
Zachariah, what can I do?
I'm looking for my friends.
Can't. Might have joined the...
Just let me know if you hear.
My pleasure.
Hi, Zach. How are...
Hello, Amelia.
come back home one piece of shit at a time until their big shit boss finally gets the message they ain't wanted here.
Just as long as it doesn't push Victor to send twice as many people back.
Not a chance now that Dendolo can't deny the ASC's a problem here anymore. No. Now he's gonna be forced to deal with them.
Zachariah, I was just starting to worry.
What for?
Bad news, I'm afraid. The ASC's not only in Noctis, but they're starting to threaten its safety. I know you did what you could to get rid of their spies, but if you stay here, they'll come back. And now we may be open to a direct attack from Abundance. I'm sorry, Zachariah. They're after you and your friends. I can't risk the safety of all my people for just you.
So you're turning your back on us?
No, no. I would never turn my back on a friend. I set a meeting for you with the Techomancers from Aurora. Their arms are open. You'll be safer from Victor with them by your side. You just can't stay here.
Why are you helping me?
A scratch on the back for what I hope will be a long-term relationship, Mr. Mancer. They'll meet you under one of their shadow paths. Take the map. You'll be well received. Now get going. As soon as you can gather your things and friends together. The longer you stay, the more danger those of us around you face.
How'd you manage to get in touch with Aurora's Techomancers?
Wasn't easy, but we have agents in all of the corporation's cities. The equivalent of Nisha, but not as easy on the eyes, lives in Shadowlair and was our point on this little mission. Their Technomancers are quite knowledgeable, powerful, and I assume the idea of having one of their counterparts from Abundance join them and give them a little upper hand probably put a few smiles on their faces. But their chief's name, it's slipping my mind. Profanity? No, something more. Chastity, promiscuity, generosity. Yeah, that's the one. Their chief's named Generosity, I think. He's quite chummy with the Dowser wisdom, I hear. Shouldn't be too hard for him to make you feel welcome. So set your mind at ease.
Now we're headed back to Aurora. This is the definition of insanity. Do you think they know how many times I've attacked them?
I'm really sorry, Zach. I'm sure Dandolo would have preferred to keep us all in Noctis. It makes me uncomfortable, but we can't keep Noctis under Victor's crosshairs. He wouldn't hesitate to wipe it off the face of Mars just to get his hands on you.
I don't know about that. Big Bad Victor is definitely a manipulative rat, but he's gonna have a lot of trouble wiping out a city like Noctis using a couple of harebrained schemes.
Do the corporations differ all that much? I know you were raised to think so, but as a mutant, I only see humans bickering over petty squabbles. The differences don't matter now, especially since they're welcoming you with open arms. Supposedly, Techomancers are treated well.
Here's the truth. I know this transition's gonna be hard for you. Aurora may ask you to fight against your former corporation. You may end up on the battlefield against men and women you knew from before. At least there's no chance of coming up against an old Techomancer buddy, because they're all with you. Well, except for that Snake Allen. That doesn't really matter, right?
What bothers me is that they're gonna commandeer my baby. I'm warning you, Zach. I like you, but if they try to take my rover, I'm out. So fucking out! It's me and my rover or nothing. Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia.
We're going to take you down! You won't get away here!
The last fight before freedom, Zachariah! Release him. Let him serve as our messenger. I hope, Zachariah, that you'll forgive this little charade. But it was a means to an end, necessary to ensure peace of mind, the safety of Noctis, and those who will now welcome you. The ASC now believes you uprooted yourself to Aurora, where they will never go looking for you. So, keep a low profile here, and you'll have nothing to fear. I hope that suits your needs. To send you to Aurora was never really an option. The political climate is not exactly conducive to a Techomancer. And here you have Phobos, who's offered to open the doors of his home to you. But I'll leave him to explain this better. Your brothers and sisters will follow you. Be well, Zachariah. Oh yes, one last thing before you go. So, I have some troubling news about your friend, Scott.
Where is he?
Mutants spotted him near the Shadow Path. Come here. Let me show you on the map.
Why would he go there?
Haven't the slightest. There's an abundance outpost there. Might have been taken there by force. From what my informants told me, he looked like he was in a precarious situation.
Thanks for the info, Dandolo. Owe you one. I got ripped off. Dandolo had planned everything from the start. The costumes, the rover repair, and he even let Victor settle down without a word. All of that just to organize a fake meeting.
What did I tell ya? Douchebag with real nice clothes is still a douchebag. Even though he totally fucked us over, I gotta say, what you just did back there, real classy. Victor the Dictor's probably having a little tantrum.
I'm glad you find it amusing, Amelia. Go south. My people's refuge isn't far away. But you have to know where to look, or you'd never be the wiser.
What's it like? Magical city hidden away in a floaty island or something?
Nothing like that. It's a valley, or perhaps more accurately, a crater. There is vegetation there unlike anywhere else. Surely something you've never seen before.
A secret place that's one of a kind? What the fuck are we waiting for?
I'm used to not being welcome wherever I go, but this place, won't we be despised for who we are? After what they've all been through, the grudges they hold against mankind, more than understandable. But I'm worried, Phobos. Will your support be enough to grant us safe passage?
I believe so, but I'll also need to ask for Scum's support. He's our best orator, so as long as he's on board, it won't be a problem.
Farewell, Noctis. I'm sorry to have to leave you this way.
I'm sorry, Nisha.
Stop. It's not your fault. It's Victor's. I just hope I can come home soon.
And do your business here, but you cannot enter the valley. No human is allowed there.
There must be a way to make an exception.
Sorry, Phobos. You know that I respect you, but I am following orders. To be honest with you, it is for your friend's safety. I do not know how they would welcome them in there. Maybe if another speaker supported them.
I will go see Scum. I managed to see him. He offered me something. Scum is an important figure here, one of the great speakers. People listen to him. If he supports you, you will be able to get in without being lynched. But he wants you to prove yourself by helping a group of mutants. From what he hears, a group of mutants have escaped a labor camp. They have not arrived here, though, so he fears they have found trouble. We will need to find them and see what has gone wrong. Bring them safely to the valley, and you will not only earn their support, but Scum's as well. Quite the asset.
All right. Do we know how they were supposed to get here?
The shortest and safest route to take is the canyon, right here.
Let's go see what happened to them.
Wowee. Roll up a fucking red carpet, why don't you?
Don't hold it against them. These are mutants who escaped slavery and abuse. It makes sense that they aren't completely pleased that their torturers have come up to their doorstep.
Fuck that. I never tortured anyone. Never made one of them my slave.
But you lived in the system that allowed it, like all of us. Except Phobos, of course. These mutants took this canyon we were shown.
Hell yeah, fucking right. There aren't many paths leading to mutant valleys that are safe from the sun. We'll find them.
For a successful escape, the breakout is just half the battle. The other half is diligence. It is likely that they moved slowly and decided to stop and hide at nightfall, so I am not worried. But a little help never hurt anyone. See anything, Amelia?
Nope, but we're still far from that place he showed us. My baby's fast, but it doesn't go the fucking speed of light.
One must muster quite a bit of courage to escape from a city, only to risk it all in the desert, defenseless while soldiers are in hot pursuit, or have already suffered greatly.
I wonder how long they chase after them once they've left the cities. Most people think it's impossible to survive in the desert. So wouldn't they figure they could let the desert do their dirty work for them?
I hope no one was wounded. Blood attracts creatures of all sorts, predators that'll pounce on the weak. Imagine it, Zach. Walking all those miles through hostile areas, hiding and sleeping during the day. Takes courage.
Once everything's been taken from you, death probably isn't a fear anymore. Rebuilding a life comes with the price of risking it.
Too bad they didn't have vehicles or something to help them run. Hell, someone should build hideouts along the path to help. A place to give them food and water. A place to catch their breath, you know?
The day is rising. They must find a place to rest, and this cave is perfect to hide them from both the men and father's son.
But this cave has... He has a bad feeling. There's danger here, from the moment he wakes to...
No, we've already met and defeated danger, overcome it together. So he must stop behaving like a slave. Come!
Move away! Don't be afraid. Scum sent me from Newton Valley to protect you. This isn't a good time to just hang around here. We're almost to Mutant Valley.
You have our thanks, man.
Call me Zachariah.
Then you have our thanks, Zachariah. We will not forget what you have done for us. We must hurry now, though. The day is coming.
You're just an old fool, aren't you? Risking your own neck to shelter the rogue. Well, if your neck's no value to you, it's no value to me either. I'm off to Ophir. Soldiers, Abundance has fed its parasites for far too long. I think it's time we stop some of the leeching.
No, stop! Listen to me. Let me...
If I don't step in, they'll kill him.
Sundamned fucking prick. Where the hell did you go all these years without one? Sorry,
I almost did a couple times. Lucky for him, he knows how to protect himself. Enough talking. We gotta go save Scott.
Came. I thought that it was all over. Thank you.
I wasn't gonna let those thugs kill you, but I'd like to know what you're doing here. Why did you disappear?
I was missing Abundance. I was hoping... Anyhow, that was silly. I'm sorry. He tried to torture me, you know? He wanted to know where to find you, but I didn't say anything.
I don't really understand how you ended up here. Anyway, let's get back. You're in bad shape. I can't figure out what Scott was doing in the desert with Alan. I better find some witnesses who saw what happened. Get to the bottom of it.
Zachariah, you look good. Better...
just in time. That toad could have done some serious damage.
I think I'm gonna hurl.
But this is rather quite fascinating. Did you know that the lichen on its back is not merely a parasite? Well, maybe you... Anyway, they actually have a symbiotic relationship. The lichen cools off the toad's skin, while the toad lets the lichen feed off the ooze. Well, oozing from its pores.
Yeah, now I'm definitely gonna hurl.
Thank the moons. We were able to save them. I don't know if they could have survived without our help. Scum will be happy to see they made it. The gates of Mutant Valley will open wide for you this day, friend.
I'm antsy to get to town. I'm getting tired of spending night after night in this rover.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like me to bump you up to first class, bitch ass?
No. But even you have to admit, it'd be nice to go to the bathroom with a door.
I'm anxious to meet Scum. He's quickly becoming a legend around these parts. Some people in Noctis talk about him like he's some kind of messiah, even though he's only just been freed from Abundance's prisons.
Yes, he has lived most of his life at Camp 19, but he has shown great wisdom since his arrival, and he is quite the speaker. I think you two will get along very well. I know not a more devout advocate for peace.
Zach, can we need to talk. Alone.
Sure. What's going on?
I want to keep investigating. Remember what we found in the archives? The secret military shit in Eos Chasma?
Yeah. So how do you want to do this?
We gotta find a way to get into the military archives in Ophir and steal some files.
We don't even know where these files are, Amelia. But maybe I know someone who could point us in the right direction. Eliza Major, my former captain, and have access to all of them.
Ask her to read them and tell us what the hell's in there then. After that, we just gotta get back to the rover and make trails for Eos Chasma.
That road must have been taken dozens of times, Amelia. If your father was there, we'd have found him by now.
That's not true, Zach. Nobody takes that road anymore. Not with the shadow paths. There's no reason to take the rovers that way since the area's already been mapped out. All he wanted was to find that kid. We should take that road, Zach. Please.
Sure. If that's what you want to try. You know it's been a long time though, Amelia. The odds of us ever finding him alive...
They don't exist, Zach. He's dead. I know that. Honestly, I just want to know why.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
You told me you learned where Scott was from mutants. You mind if I talk to them? Like to find out exactly what they saw.
Have suspicions about your friend, Zachariah? Sorry. None of my business, really. You can find them in Mutant Valley. They only passed through here to pass on some information to me, including the little tidbit about your friend.
Thanks. I'm gonna go find him.
What's the problem? The old man's story rubbing you wrong?
A little, yeah.
He's fucking weird, I know, but is he any weirder than usual?
Can't go through here. Sean was right. Can't open this door without another Techomancer. Captain, good to see you. I really need some information about Scott Seeker's son. Like, what happened to him after he got arrested?
You know how monitored we are, Zachariah? What do you want? I go poking around, we could find ourselves fired. Or worse. For a mutant?
Whatever we find isn't gonna bother anyone today, but it could bring some peace to the people who never stopped loving or wondering what happened to the boy. The more I learn about it, the more complicated it gets. I'm just trying to bring some peace, Captain. Just look into some dusty files. No one's gonna care.
All right. Hope you're right, Zachariah. We'll dig into the archives, but it'll take some time. Tomorrow'd be the earliest.
Tomorrow it is. Thank you. I'll come back then.